Hi everyone. I want to make sure that everyone is clear about the assignment for week 5, February 24th, 2020, Business Communication, Business 203. All right, the first thing you're going to do is choose your team manager, all right, for the session, okay? And once you do that, once you've assigned your team manager, to make sure that the assignments are all done and everybody understands what needs to be done. So your second, part 2 of the team assignment is to read pages 208 and 209 in your textbook. Remember, this is chapter 6. We've already covered chapters 4, 5, and now we're up to chapter 6. And chapter 6, with this chapter, this is the last chapter for preparation before we actually start typing our original emails for chapters 8, 9, and 10. All right, that's the bulk of our work, okay? And that's when you're going to do your major revisions. But we'll talk more about that obviously later on. All right, so you're going to read pages 208 and 209 in your textbook and section 6.11, document analysis, wretched email, meaning that the email is horrible. You must focus on clarity. Some of you are, all you're doing is rewriting the same thing. You're revising this. You're making changes based on clarity. Using familiar words, not big fancy words that for some of you, a good number of you, English is a second language. So don't use these fancy words that no one's even heard of for those of us who are English speakers. Again, we're developing the you attitude. Remember how difficult that is. And just because you use the word you does not necessarily mean it's a you attitude. Remember, you're focusing on the reader. You're focusing on the customer. You're focusing on the person that you want to get the message. Whether it's a written message or a verbal message, you always concentrate on the other person. That's the whole idea of business communication. And you're going to type concise sentences. Remember, we went over last week, I went over with you some of the errors that you're making in terms of comma splices, in terms of run-on sentences, all right, or incomplete sentences. So make sure you watch that, because when I grade your papers, since it's due week 4 assignment is due on Monday, I will review all of your work and make sure that it's in conjunction to what I have presented. Okay, so if we take a look what the instructions are, each person will type the revised email. All right, each person has to revise that email on 6.11 on page 208 and 209 in your textbook. You're typing this in a Word document, and you're following the correct format, Appendix A on page A1 of your textbook. So you're typing, each person individually is typing this. All right. After you type this in a Word, after you type the revised email in a Word document, you're going to save the document and submit the revised email in the team file exchange. All right. So here's our file exchange. Okay. I'll just use the first team here. Okay. All right. And in your teams, you'll see group, collaborate, file exchange, group discussion board, group wiki. You know how to go into group wiki by now. All right, you can send each other emails, but most of you are using a WhatsApp application. Here's the file exchange. Each person in the team has to revise 6.11 on pages 208 and 209 and submit it in the file exchange. And the file exchange looks like, when you add a file, click into Add File, and it looks like an email. All right, what's the name of the file that you're submitting? Okay, and click into Browse My Computer wherever you saved it. You might have saved it in your flash drive. You might have saved it in your hard drive, wherever you save it. Okay, and then you're going to click Submit. Okay, you must save the document because you won't be able to upload it to the computer. All right, and definitely you are not typing anything in comments yet. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right, after you submit, we're going to go back to the assignment. Sorry, folks. Okay, after you submit, then each person will type positive comments and suggestions for improvement for each team member's revision. Okay, and you're going to do this in Team Wiki number 9, and you'll see the instructions. I can't put it up now because I haven't made the site available, as you just saw. All right. So wiki number 8, you're choosing the team manager. Wiki number 9, this is an individual assignment, but the team manager will be the one who's going to answer the questions and send me an email with any questions that you have, unless there's something very personal that you don't want your team to know. And by this point, you all know each other pretty well. All right, so let's make sure we understand this. Pages 208 and 209 in your textbook. We're looking at section 6.11, document analysis, wretched email. When you see the word wretched, you know it means it's a terrible email. And you must focus on clarity. This is what I'm grading you on. Clarity, familiar words, developing the you attitude and concise sentences, and proofreading. Now, you know you have to do this before the due day and time because your members have to make comments. I'm grading you on the comments that you're making to each person in your team, not just choosing the best email. Each person is going to type the revised email in a Word document and follow the correct formatting of an email in Appendix A on page A1. Each person will submit the revised email in the team file exchange. I just showed you what to do with the file exchange so that each person in the team can see the document. Each person will then type, after the person has read all of the emails, each person will type positive comments and suggestions for improvement for each team member's revision. So that means all five of you, or all 6 of you, or all 4 of you will type comments on each person in your team. Okay, except your own, obviously. All right, you will type the comments in the comment section in wiki number 9, and you already know how to do this. This is due by March 2nd. Your assignment is due by March 2nd. Okay. Chapter, you'll be reading your individual follow-up reading assignment is chapter 7. You're going to go through chapter 7 in the PowerPoint. And I strongly suggest that you do the quiz so that you understand the comments of the chapter. And I strongly recommend that you look at the grammar and mechanics clue. Now, I know that you're not doing this because at least in the first few weeks, the first 3 weeks, you didn't do anything. So I'm assuming that by now, after I've gone through sentence structures with you, you are now doing these exercises. Just because I'm not grading them doesn't mean that I don't see the errors that you're making. Okay? Now, the next thing that you have, and I want to make sure that I go over this with you. March is Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month. And you'll notice that you have 2 parts to this assignment. The first part is to choose what activity you're going to attend. Now you say to yourself, well, what activities are there? How do I see it? Go into my attachment, all right? And you can make this larger. You could zoom in larger, and you'll see the dates. There we go. That's as far as it goes. March 4th is the first one. There are lectures. There are games. This is the one that I'm conducting on March 10th from 11 to 12:15. Domestic violence and the Domestic Violence Survivors Justice Act. We're going to have a panel presentation, and we're also going to have an opportunity to have question and answer on a more individual basis. You'll have an activity on March 12th, March 17th, March 23rd, March 24th, March 26th, and March 30th. You have activities in the afternoon. You have activities in the morning. You have activities about several activities in the afternoon. You have night activities. All right, notice the night activities. All of these are evening activities. 3:30 to 5 is not exactly night. So and we also have very early in the morning. So there are a number of activities during the day to enable you to see something. All right, so not everybody's working 24/7. Not everybody has classes 24/7. And obviously, since this class is online, this doesn't even interfere with anything that you should be able to see. So your first assignment is to choose from one activity. I'm not expecting you to see all the activities because some of you are going to send me that email. Do we have to see all the activities? No, you're choosing one of the activities. All right, and you're going to submit in the assignment link. You know how to do this. In the assignment link, in a Word document, not the comment, okay? So, to submit in a Word document the title of the activity and the date and time you will participate in the activity. So what's the title of the activity? What day and time is that activity meeting? That's what you're typing in a Word document and submitting that document through the assignment link. And again, by March 2nd. Now, since we have the activities and the last activity is March 30th, your essay, all right, sorry, your essay is due by 11 p.m. Monday, April 20th. That gives you plenty of time to do the essay. Now, the essay is very simple. No more than 3 pages, up to 3 pages. It doesn't have to be 3 pages. It could be a page and a half. It could be 2 pages. It could be 2.5 pages, but it cannot be 4 pages. It cannot be 3.5 pages, up to the 3rd page. All right. And what's the essay going to be about? You are not answering questions. You're typing an essay that has to have a title, an introductory paragraph, the body of the essay, and in which you address the points that are outlined. This is your outline. What did the activity say to you about the importance of looking at gender and sexuality that you had not thought about before, before participating in the activity? Which of the characters in the movie or play could you relate the most and why, if you're seeing a movie or a play? If you're listening to a panel presentation, if you want to talk about which of the panelists was really struck you, fine. Briefly summarize how did the lecture or discussion before the activity help you to focus on the theme of the activity. Briefly summarize the discussion after the activity. Which discussion points after the activity help you to understand the role of women and gender that you learned through the activity and the pre and post discussion. All I'm asking for is your reaction, okay? And I don't want to hear I think, I believe. I just want to know, what was your reaction, okay? What did you learn from this, from the presentation, from the panel, from the movie, from the play, from the game, whatever, all right? And the link to showing you how to type, okay, your essay in an MLA format, okay, is right here. And they have a sample paper. And those of you who are office technology people, you know how to type a manuscript. Okay. It takes a while for my computer to upload a document, and I should have had this prepared. I forget. Okay. So I really forget that using a PDF file takes a long time on my computer. But the point is that you do have a sample, okay? And this is what the paper should look like. Exactly how your paper should look, all right? And you'll notice that there are no loads of blank lines between paragraphs. When I say double space, I mean the entire paper is double spaced. Once you set it on double space, you don't have to add another line, okay? So we understand what the paper is supposed to look like, okay? And what you're supposed to do with the paper, and it's due April 20th. Okay? Any questions that you have about the team assignment, make sure that you email me or text me. Or any questions that you have, make sure you contact your team members so that they can help you. In the team, if you notice that everybody has the same question and no one has a response or understands what to do, then the team manager has to send me the question. Okay, but individual questions that you might not feel comfortable asking, or individual assignments, you don't understand what you have to do for the Women's History Month activity, or you don't understand any of those questions, please make sure you either text me or email me. All right, folks, have a good day and a good week, and I look forward to your writing, because some of you, your writing is improving already. Some of you still need a lot of work, and that's why we have a writing center. Okay? All right, folks. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.